The rules of the game should support your narrative. And so, what I mean by that is there's lots of TTRPGs out there. And if you're struggling to tell a story and the players are struggling to get behind it because the rules and mechanics are slowing it down, then sometimes you should look for a different system. I'm not saying you always should, or you should change the rules to fit, but in the end, the rules of our games should support the story or the type of story we're trying to tell. That's one of the reasons why people say D&D is not for horror. It's not that you can't get it to work. It's not that you can't be an amazing storyteller. It's that there's other systems that work in horror better, creating suspense with those characters. Now, if you're trying to also have high combat fantasy mixed with horror, then yeah, the horror ones don't do as well. Hence, the rules should support the story you're trying to tell. So when you're thinking of homebrewing a rule, how does that enhance the story? If you're going to change something in Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or Masquerade or Rifts or GURPS or all the systems out there, what are we changing it for? What's the outcome? How is that going to affect the story that we're telling as a group? And this really makes a difference. When dungeon masters lean on rules to tell their narrative, then that becomes frustrating. It should be our narrative. We should be telling the story together. We should be in agreement of where the game is going. When that happens, we can make changes to the rules because we're in agreement that we're trying to tell the same type of story. Where rule discrepancies occur is when we're trying to tell different stories. And there's nothing wrong with each person having their own story, but as a whole, what's the story we're trying to tell? That's the core behind any TTRPG. So when you're looking at the rules, they do influence the narrative and how that game feels and how the players react and what the stakes are. Changing those rules changes that mechanic, which changes the storytelling. It's just a thought experiment. It just allows you to understand when you're sitting down at the table, the rules are there for a reason, and they should support your story, not detract from it. Not saying eliminate the rules. I'm just saying have that understanding. That's all I'm saying. So this is not a right, not a wrong, not a one system is better than another. There are different ways to tell stories. There's different systems that tell them differently. So look at how that system is going to influence that because the rules are going to dictate how the players behave in that environment if they care about the rules at all. Some people don't. Some people just make shit up. And then this video has nothing to do with them. So food for thought.